Son.
Mama, yeah.
We
won't go into great detail about that one, okay? But I thought that was interesting. It was how awful, actually, for the girls.
Actually, the civilians worked also in the base camp inside.
Okay.
And Mama San and Baby San and Papa San would be very friendly with you in base camp.
Okay.
And sometimes, in one occasion, a patrol out of base camp had a contact with the Viet Cong, and one of the guys that they shot, one of the enemies, was the barber that would cut our hair in the base camp. The one would smile and say, Papa San, and would joke around.
Uh-huh.
So you never knew who
Sure.
actually the Viet Cong was. So it's pretty sad when in a firefight, many villagers got involved in a firefight, innocent girls or boys, kids, and got killed because of the situation. It was a mess. But not because we were aiming at the kids or boys or women. It's just that the Viet Cong will come out from nowhere.
Right. I would imagine that the Viet Cong also pressured people to
fight.
with them.
Oh yeah, of
as well.
course.
And the pressure, I'm sure, was really big.
Of course they did.
Yeah, I remember speaking once with one of the veterans and who told me about the brothels, and that sometimes some of the prostitutes that were there had information about the battles, etc., that even the soldiers didn't have.
Well, those veterans they spoke to must have been closer to Saigon, I guess, because
Perhaps.
the brothels that I knew were just bushes on the field.
Okay.
The women that would practice there, the prostitution work, there was civilians walking around the jungle.
Yeah.
So, but no, there were no brothels in the area that I was in.
Right. So, one last request. If you were to, when your grandchildren grow up and they ask you for information about the war and what advice you would give, do you have anything you would think you might want to tell them?
That there is no reason for a war. I mean, it's easy to say, but how hard it to become true. I don't think the world knows to live in peace. It's inevitable that we'll have more wars.
Right.
I mean, you have to fight for a good cause, so let it be. But if we can avoid it, let's do the best to avoid it.
Absolutely. This has been fascinating. And I want to thank you very much for giving us your time. And
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you for what you're doing. And
I don't want these stories to be lost. And I think even though the story repeats itself with, the other veterans from other wars, there seems to be a pattern oftentimes in what you have to say
Sure.
about it. And these stories should not be lost.
well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.